In Venezuela, President and candidate for the Great Patriotic Poll, Nicolás Maduro, denounced racist and discriminatory speech by journalists linked to the far right. Palestinian Israeli occupation troops killed at least 35 Palestinians overnight in different areas of the Gaza Strip. In the Ivory Coast, authorities launched the first malaria vaccination campaign for the country's children. Hello, welcome from the South. I'm Luis Alberto Matos from the teleSUR studios in Havana, Cuba. We begin with the news. In Venezuela, the president and candidate for the Great Patriotic Poll, Nicolás Maduro, denounced racist and discriminatory expressions by journalists linked to sectors of the Venezuelan far right. During his visit to Ciudad Bolivar, the head of state rejected the fascist, violent and racist threats campaign orchestrated in social media by so-called journalists backed by leaders of the far-right wing, emphasizing they should be brought to justice as their speech constitutes hate crime. He further called on Venezuelans not to fall into the deceptions promoted by the opposition. President Maduro was received by the crowd in Bolivar, who ratified their support and backing for his candidacy. There he expressed his security and confidence in his people before the presidential elections of next July 28th. The mayor of the municipality of El Socorro in Ivory Coast State, Luis Alberto Pinto Vargas, has declared himself independent in support of candidate Nicolás Maduro Moros ahead of the elections on July 28th.
I am Luis Alberto Pinto, Mayor of the Municipality of El Socorro in Ivory Coast State. Today I am here to declare my independence and support President Nicolás Maduro Moros for the peace of our country, for agribusiness, for our agricultural sector in the Municipality of El Socorro and all of Ivory Coast State, which is going to move forward. Forward, we continue to work.
The governments of Venezuela and Belarus established on Monday a long-term bilateral agenda in the context of high-level cooperation between the two nations. This was announced by the Venezuelan Foreign Minister Iván Gil on his account on the social media X, after a meeting with the Prime Minister of the Eastern European state, Roman Golovchenko, who arrived in the South American country the day before on an official visit. He said that the agenda covers food production, trade, the petrochemical industry, and the reactivation of factories and heavy machinery. He added that they also discussed shared challenges and goals to ensure the well-being and development of their respective peoples. Meanwhile, Minister Alexandre Moraes of Brazil's Supreme Federal Court authorized two people implicated in the 2018 murder of Councilwoman Marielle Franco to testify on July 15 and 16 at the Chamber of Deputies. The Moraes authorized Eduardo Barbosa, former chief of the Civil Police of Rio de Janeiro, and Domingo Brazao, former councillor of the Court of Auditors of that territorial division, to give their testimonies through hearings conducted by video conference coordinated by the Council of Ethics and Parliamentary Decorum of the lower house. During the course of these days, the defendants, who have been detained since March for their involvement in the crime against Marielle Franco, will testify publicly for the first time. And also, in other news, on Monday, the Brazilian Foreign Ministry called its ambassador in Buenos Aires, Julio Vitelli, for consultations due to diplomatic tensions with the government of Javier Milei. The Brazilian representative in Buenos Aires met with Foreign Minister Mauro Vieira to discuss the situation and how to improve relations with Casa Rosada. Vitelli declared that the idea is to talk about the bilateral relationship, how to move it forward in the best possible way with the attention it deserves. He added that both presidents have different views, and the concern is that this does not damage the relationship. He continued saying that President Lula is clear regarding the relationship between the two countries must remain as strong and important as it is, regardless of the differences in priorities. The government of Argentina announced over the weekend that it will use the dollars it receives from the liquidation of exports to intervene, selling them in the unofficial exchange markets with the justification of reducing the inflationary gap. The measure consists mainly of the central bank's intervention in economic policy, especially in the foreign exchange market, in an attempt to curb the excessive rate rise of the dollar, risking the Federal Reserve to achieve this. This means a bet on the foreign currency reserves to save the 2% monthly devaluation scheme, which is rejected by the exporting consortiums and even by the International Monetary Fund. Also in Argentina, a report revealed on Monday that during the first 4 months of the administration of President Javier Milei and his governmental entourage, more than 9,000 companies have been closed in the country, and as a consequence, 200,000 workers have lost their jobs. In addition, almost all of the companies closed during the period had up to 500 workers, representing 99.5% of the cases, while the remaining 0.5% corresponded to employers with more than 500 workers. In the period from November to April, according to the report, the number of workers registered in productive units fell by 1.73%, with a loss of more than 176,000 jobs. Let's now take a short break, but remember you can join us on TikTok at teleSUR English, where you'll find news in different formats, news updates, and much more. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back. On Monday, the Republican Party officially nominated U.S. former President Donald Trump as its candidate for the position of president in the November 2024 elections. During the Republican National Convention, which has been taking place since Monday, nearly 2,400 delegates cast their votes in favor of Trump, who received 2,387 votes. Next Thursday, Trump is due to officially accept his nomination as a candidate with a closing convention speech. Former president also announced that Ohio State Senator James David Vance would be his vice presidential running mate. According to Trump, during the campaign, Vance will focus on U.S. workers and farmers in Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Ohio, Minnesota, and beyond. Also in the United States, federal judge Aileen Cannon dismissed the charges against former President Donald Trump and his 2 co-defendants on Monday. In a ruling, Cannon said the appointment of special counsel Jack Smith violated the Constitution. The ruling clears up one of the biggest legal challenges facing the former president and comes on the first day of the Republican National Convention. Many legal experts had considered the classified documents case the strongest of the 4 pending against the former president. Smith had accused Trump last year of taking classified White House documents and resisting government attempts to retrieve the material, and he pled not guilty. The president of Bolivia, Luis Arce, announced Monday the discovery of a natural gas reserve of 1.7 trillion cubic feet in the north of the department of La Paz. The Mayaya Centro X1 stratigraphic investigation well, which has become the 3rd largest hydrocarbon producing field in Bolivia, was confirmed to have gaseous and liquid hydrocarbons in the Copacabana and Middle and Lower Tumashi formations. According to drilling tests, 1.7 trillion cubic feet of reserves were also confirmed, being the most important discovery for Bolivia since 2005. Arce explained that revenues of approximately $6.8 billion are expected to be obtained in the total life of the project. On Tuesday, Afghan authorities raised to 40 the death toll and more than 300 the number of people injured by the rains and floods that hit eastern Afghanistan. The storm hit several towns in Nangarhar province on Monday, including the provincial capital, causing unquantified economic losses. Among the dead are 5 people from the same family who were inside their home when it collapsed due to the rains and rainfall. The Afghan Meteorological Department forecasts heavy rainfall in at least 7 provinces over the next few days. The heavy rainfall in Nangarhar province is the latest in a series of extreme weather events that have hit Afghanistan in recent years. Palestine, at least 35 people were killed in Israeli overnight attacks in different areas of the Gaza Strip. In this context, local sources report that a bombardment targeting the house of the Hamad family in the Nusayrat refugee camp claimed the lives of 11 people and left dozens of wounded who were transferred to the Martyrs Al-Aqsa hospital. Medical authorities also reported that 19 people were killed in attacks of the city of Rafah and Han Yunis, among other areas. It should be noted that after 284 days of the genocidal aggression launched by Israel, the number of people killed in the devastated Palestinian enclave has reached 38,664, most of whom are children and women. Thirteen humanitarian organizations jointly launched on Monday a report outlining the problems they face working in the Gaza Strip. Signatories include Action Aid, CARE, Doctors of the World, Doctors Without Borders, Mercy Corps, among others. These organizations announced that none of the land accesses to Gaza, the most effective and viable for delivering aid, have been fully operational since October 2023, while the north of the Strip remains cut off from the south by the Israeli army. The report also highlights that in the last 9 months, 274 aid workers and more than 500 health workers have lost their lives in Gaza, victims of Israeli attacks on their infrastructure. Overnight on Monday, an Israeli multiple shelling left 7 civilians dead in areas of the Gaza Strip. According to statements by the Palestinian Red Crescent Society, the bodies of 2 victims were recovered in the area south of the Strip. For their part, paramedics stressed that in the center of the Maghazi refugee camp, in the center of the Strip, they recovered 4 bodies of victims. The constant attacks by the Israeli Defense Forces against the Gaza Strip and the occupied West Bank have left a toll of more than 38,600 victims, the majority of whom are women and children, according to the Gaza Ministry of Health. We have a fun short break coming up, but before we invite you to join our WhatsApp community for our English-speaking audience, you can scan the QR code on screen to join directly, share the link to reach more people. Constant news coverage of Latin America and the Caribbean as well as the rest of the world. Fun short break, don't go away. Welcome back. Ivory Coast launched on Monday its first malaria vaccination campaign for the country's children. The 4 doses were administered in the Abidjan, the country's commercial capital. The Ivorian Minister of Health, Pierre Demba, informed during an official ceremony that malaria transmitted by mosquitoes kills 4 people a day, including 3 children under 5 years of age, becoming also the first cause of medical consultation in the country. The official highlighted that Ivory Coast is the first nation to deploy a vaccine against the disease, being the most neglected infection in the world, with 95% of the cases and 96% of deaths occurring in Africa. This Tuesday, French superstar Kylian Mbappe was officially presented to a packed-out Santiago Bernabeu Stadium. During the morning, Mbappe signed his new 5-season contract with Real Madrid president Florentino Perez before entering the stadium to greet more than 85,000 fans. For Mbappe and Real Madrid, it is the culmination of a long-awaited liaison. The French star joins Real Madrid on a free transfer after leaving Paris Saint-Germain at the end of his contract, and will want to finally win the Champions League with the Kings of Europe's elite club competition. The 25-year-old will wear the number 9 shirt in fluent Spanish. At his presentation, Mbappe said this is a dream come true.
Me voy a intentar hablar en español.
I'll try to speak in Spanish.
Wow, es increíble estar aquí.
Wow, it's incredible to be here.
Increíble.
Incredible.
Ha dormido durante muchos años con...
I fell asleep for several years with the dream of playing for Real Madrid. Now my dream is coming true. I'm a happy boy. Very happy.
Kylian Mbappe arrived at Madrid with a long list of accomplishments on the pitch. The French forward won the 2018 World Cup held in Russia with his national team, as well as a UEFA Nations League title. With his previous club, PSG, Mbappé won 7 Ligue 1 titles, 4 Coupe de France, 2 League Cups and 5 Super Cups of France. The star player has been included 4 times in FIFA's Best Starting 11 and also 4 times in the Champions League Best Starting 11. Kylian Mbappé closed the previous season with his best scoring numbers with 44 goals. A movie on the life of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro had its premiere in Caracas on Sunday, July 14th. The film, titled Nicolas, describes different stages in the life of the current president candidate in the 2024 elections. Our special envoy, Yunus Soner, has details.
The Teresa Carreño Theater in downtown Caracas. Hundreds of people are waiting for President Maduro, an exciting moment for them. They are going to confront the subject of their work.
Yo creo que
the 30 years of the 60s, 70s, and 80s could build not only a powerful social and political movement, but also an honest leader. A leader with a great sense of ethics and morals. A humble leader, a true revolutionary leader.
The biopic is based on the book of Ana Cristina Bracho, and it will be distributed to the entire population both in print and digitally.
We had decided to approach facts that were proven, or that we could confirm, either because the president himself has expressed them or because we had testimonies from people who lived through those stages with him.
The movie tells in 6 chapters Maduro's life from childhood through his youth and first political activities, ending with Comandante Chavez pointing him out as the next leader of the revolution. It was made by the Movimiento Futuro collective.
Bueno, para nosotros los revolucionarios, los que estamos militando.
For us revolutionaries who are volunteer militants in the Movimiento Futuro, it's a wonderful experience so that our young people learn about the life of this distinguished and exemplary Venezuelan who is Nicolás Maduro.
Insigne ejemplar venezolano como lo es Nicolás Maduro Moro.
Like many who contributed to this film, the lead actor, whom Maduro at the ceremony declared his official double, is not a professional actor but an engineer. He says it was a great experience and a great challenge.
The origins of Nicolas Maduro's humanity comes from his struggle, from his social struggle, his trade union struggle, from his love for sports, the values that forged him. Without a doubt, the values needed to lead a nation are reflected in the film, and they are the ones that formed Nicolas Maduro as a humble president, as president with solidarity principles.
The spectators reacted during the screening. Sometimes they shouted "Viva Chavez," sometimes they applauded when romantic situations between Nicolás and his later wife, Celia Flores, were shown.
I cried. I remembered our ever-present Chavez. It was a very beautiful film, a movie that shows the reality of our country, what has been happening for years, and let's hope that from now on we continue in revolution, in the process and with President Nicolas Maduro.
The movie was completed in just 1 month. The 6 chapters will be presented one every day on the networks. The president himself, present in the theater, invited to watch them, but his emphasis was on the future.
If life has been good, intense, strong, but beautiful, what is to come will be more beautiful. This is called hope. This is called certainty.
Yunus Soner, teleSUR, Caracas, Venezuela.
We have come to the end of this news brief. You can find these and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net. Also join us on social media, Facebook, X, Instagram, Telegram, and TikTok. For telesur English, I'm Luis Alberto Matos. Thank you for watching.